Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We have a very special presentation this evening. Some of you were either at SolarCon or you were referred from somebody who was at SolarCon. What an amazing convention. Thousands of people, incredible keynote speakers. I had the honor of being able to speak on time management as a solar professional, and Jonathan Budd, our CEO, is a keynote speaker as well. You'll get a chance to meet him live this evening. So we're super excited to be here. We're going to start a little slide deck for you to kind of show you who we are and what we do. And before I do, let me tell you a little bit about my story. My name is Charles Thompson. I'm the field leader here at Powur. I've been in the solar industry for coming up on 12 years. I've been in energy for over 30 years. Have a passionate story about why I do what I do. And that is because I have an amazing little girl who came into my life, and she has cystic fibrosis. And I started doing research about what can I do at home to help her when she comes home. And I found out what we were doing to our planet, to our environment, with pollution, which was causing severe respiratory diseases, millions of people dying per year. And I left the energy space to come into clean energy. So I'm here, I have passion for what we do, and I have passion for this company. So now I'll introduce you to who we are. Powur is a platform. We install a lot of solar, we sell a lot of solar, you probably heard about us in the industry, but we are a platform. It's a very, very different conversation. And I'll define some of that for you here this evening. So if you're ready to take your sales career to a whole nother level, we're going to help you with that tonight. You'll learn how to earn bigger commissions and also at the same time have the flexibility to give the homeowner an even better value proposition than most companies can offer out there today by leveraging the Powur platform. Now, if you look at the industry, these are the terms that we're familiar with. We're familiar with cost of goods. Well, in a traditional solar company, you don't have that kind of transparency. You don't have the control over the margin the way that you do in the Powur platform. You typically don't have the diverse equipment options. We give you multiple options to choose from the inverters, from the panels, from everything that it takes to help operate that system. And you have the ability to own your own business, where in most traditional companies, it's a job. And this is a business. This is a way for you to own a business and earn stock in this business, which you typically don't get to do with a traditional solar company. And one of the wonderful things is complete tools, everything that you need to run your business, you're going to find in the platform. And then if you desire, you can build and coach a team of other people to do the same, and you can earn revenue share out of Powur's revenue. And I'll define some of those terms in a moment. And one of the greatest things about this platform is, for me, it is, and many, by the way, has created freedom, time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, and inner freedom that is a result of those freedoms. That is something you can be sure you can leverage the platform to do that for yourself. So we all know the industry. We're in it, right? We know it's a huge opportunity. There's 130 million single-family homes that are out there. Of those, you've got 90 million that are eligible to go solar. And if you look at the most recent data that came through, we're at just over 4 million in 2022 who have made that transition to solar. So that means there's still a lot of homes that are eligible for us to be able to offer solar to, 86 million homes. And if in 2022 data is even better than 2021, every 44 seconds, someone went solar. So this is a huge opportunity, and you're in at the right time with the right company. But you look at that and you say, why is it that an industry that has this great of a value proposition, because you know what it is, having been in the industry, why is it that it's a no-brainer? Why is it that we only have a 4% market share? We believe it's the model. And this quote is one that I truly love. To change things, don't try to fight the existing reality. Instead, build a new model that makes that old model obsolete. Now, most of us are familiar with what's called a red line model. And if it were working the way that we hoped it would work, it would be much more than 4%. We need to come together and take this industry to the double digits just in the next couple of years alone. So we take Buckminster Fuller, truly the founder of renewable energy as we know it today. And why and how we're winning is the business model. So rather than a red line model, I'll compare this to other industries. You look at what happened to retail, it completely exploded. Amazon's changed the game. Transportation with Uber, travel with Airbnb and sites like Hotwire, hotels.com, etc. Entertainment changed. Who owns a Blockbuster card these days? It happened in real estate as well. That is exactly what Powur is doing for the solar industry through leveraging a platform, a software as a service platform. Now, with that, what does it mean for you? You, the independent seller, are now collaborating with our installation partners, our product partners, and homeowners. So you have access to all of the best resources by leveraging the platform, much like you would have done in any of those other platform economies. And the real win is you have transparent cost of goods. Where in a red line model, you get a price. Let's say it's $2.40 a watt. You go sell it at your price, you keep the spread. You don't know what their margin is because it's built into their price. With Powur, you get the ability to know the actual cost with no profit built in. You sell it at a fair price and you keep 70% of that revenue. I'll break that down for you here in just a few minutes. So you have fully customized solutions for your homeowner. So it's not like you're coming, and I often say, I work for you to the homeowner. I don't work for a solar company. I don't work for one manufacturer. I don't work for one lender. I have access to the best of all of those by leveraging the Powur platform. I work for you. And you actually have the ability to do that because you can determine what panel is actually best for them rather than what you're being told. You can determine what price is best for them rather than being told what you need to sell them for. You offer them solutions, and that's the beauty of it. We also have an incredible ambassador program. Every homeowner, actually anybody you know who is touching a home in any way, is a perfect candidate to come on the platform at no cost and become an ambassador for you to be able to take those referrals and help more homeowners go solar. With that, this is a really interesting study that we did. We looked at our organization last year, and as you can see, we have well over 7,000 solars. Only half of them are pros like most of you. You can see the wide range of different people. We even have people in the platform that have no sales experience. There's a reason that I mention that because there's a benefit for you. And if you make the switch to Powur, you're going to see you have more control, more transparency, you have that freedom I talked about, greater financial rewards. You're part of really a community is what we're offering with better opportunities to grow and I believe better technology. And all that's led us to just this past 3 years, consecutively, Inc. 500 rating. This year, number 43. Out of 30 million companies, Powur is ranked 43. I'm looking forward to the data coming in next year. So now that you've heard why so many solar pros are moving over to the Powur platform, we'd like to actually introduce you to our field president, Mr. Bobby Smith, who you probably saw at SolarCon. And some of the interviews he did while we were there. Let's go ahead and roll that video.
Well, thank you. I'm inspired by that presentation, and we're excited. We're taking a moment out here from SolarCon, one of the most prestigious solar events, obviously, in the United States, to interview two of our top members of our platform, just to get some of their thoughts on what this event has meant to them and even how it's inspired them. So, ladies first, Melissa. So, Melissa, you're an inspiration to a lot of people out there, and there's people listening in tonight from all parts of the United States, all parts of the globe, and you've built a solar empire from a remote location. Maybe you can share a little bit about your story and what you've done.
Well, back in 2016, when I met Jonathan Budd, and I heard his vision with Powur, I just knew I was going to be all in on this mission, and it really has changed since 2016. You know, being here at SolarCon and seeing the kind of attraction that was coming to our booth, you know, of roofers and just amazing companies looking to add solar. It's just really incredible how far we have evolved as a platform, and it's a platform that really allows people to sell solar from anywhere in the world. You know, I live in a town of 200, and from maybe no experience to a ton of experience, or maybe they're a company that touches a homeowner, you know, if they're windows, doors, floors, HVAC, we can be their solar division. It truly has become a platform that is a solar business in a box.
So let's talk for a moment. So again, you've been with us for how long now?
Since 2016.
Okay, and back then we were kind of an unknown, maybe joke of the industry, some lead gen company that had, didn't know what we were doing and didn't know where we'd be. What about when you look back at where we were then? We go back a long way now, and seeing us as a premier, sponsor and a keynote speaker at again this major event in the industry.
It is really incredible to see how far we've come. Not only did we used to only make $250 a deal, and we just weren't taken serious. To people, came from all over the convention just to come and talk to us. People are just beyond excited to hear Jonathan Budd speak, and we're really now known as the leader in the solar industry. And people are really recognizing that we are the platform that truly decentralized the industry, but then at the same time is absolutely uniting it, bringing all of the key pieces together, the installers together, bringing together the financing, bringing together every little piece of the pie to go give that homeowner that ultimate experience, and then give the sales rep or whatever company is working with us that incredible experience.
Well, you're right. From a lead gen company that was paying a few $100s to lead to now paying the highest commissions in the industry by far, and stock options and finance rebates, we certainly are changing the game of solar. So our next guest here, many of you know, a dear friend of ours, Jonathan Bernasso. Him and I met on LinkedIn, several years ago now. Jonathan represents for all of you a different part of the industry. Melissa didn't come from solar. She came from the liquor industry. John Bernasso, when he came to us, was already one of the most respected solar professionals, in the United States. So Jonathan, maybe you could share a little bit about your story again for our guests here, meeting me on LinkedIn, already being a multiple six-figure professional in the solar industry, a respected real estate professional. What was that like in your mind? Because again, you went through that same transition to where we were then and where we are now. What were you thinking back then when you first looked at us, and how has that changed?
Yeah, it was a scary jump, even for me as a solar professional. I did get started in solar and real estate back in 2014. I was getting my real estate license, looked into the Solar City Tesla company, and I was just an employee. I was W-2, good as the next home. I didn't have multiple income streams, and as a top performer, they were going to fire me. And I went on to try real estate and found Sunrun, and did really well there. And then Powur found me about 3.5 years ago, thanks to you. And I decided to go all in May of 2020 with Powur during COVID. And as a platform and virtual sales, it was the best of both worlds to be able to have Powur with my background. And many of us thrived in COVID with Powur. And so the journey has been a long time coming, and just a perfect marriage of background and now this platform. And making the leap was scary, leaving a secure W-2 base pay and benefits. You have this false illusion of security. And what we're finding now is that a lot of people at big companies are not getting paid, or they're getting let go. And especially with the interest rates and loans and everything we're seeing, it's a changing time. So we're seeing a lot of the industry combine and condense, and we're seeing some companies even go under.
Yeah. And so we know tonight that many of you listening in are some of the top solar professionals in the United States of America. You're already making a couple $100,000 a year. You're doing well. You may or may not be happy with the direction of your company. So Jonathan, you're a guy that we've talked about that relentlessly pushes our company to excellence in the greatest way possible. You look for ways to make us better all the time. You communicate with our executive team all the time. And all the knowledge and experience that you have out in the industry, you continue to bring to Powur, continue to raise the bar, make us the company that we are today. So again, a lot of the people out there are solar pros, and they've got their own ideas about what solar is, what it should be, what it's going to look like, where it's going. You've had a chance to look at it all, so what would you say in your mind? What's the biggest differentiator here, including our management team, our philosophy, our culture, and why should that solar pro like you have enough confidence to make that jump to be a part of the future of renewable energy?
Yeah, that's a great question, Bobby. And I think there's many reasons why solar professionals and sales professionals should look at, especially a company like Powur. There's 5 different income streams, right? So from day one, you get the same cost of goods as we do. You get the same team building benefits, you get stock options, overrides, you get it all from day one. And as a solar professional, you want to diversify your income streams. And not just be in solar, you want to be in solar and batteries and roofing and EV chargers and eventually heat pumps and so many other things that we're going to be adding to our platform. So giving the most to the lead generators is also one of the biggest advantages of working with Powur. What I mean by that is being able to bring in realtors and lenders and insurance agents, which we're seeing come into solar in the masses right now. And I truly believe that Powur has the best lead cultivation software to have them put in their leads, to have a transparent commission, to have that lead closed and earn handsomely on it with many different levels to be played at. And our Tier 3 Mentor Closer program is the best lead gen in the solar industry. So when you look at us as a whole, everything we're doing, going from a few hundred sales 3 years ago to thousands of sales a month, we're just getting started.
We are. So Melissa, not only do you represent the women of Powur and the women of solar, and there aren't enough of them in this industry, but so what would you say to the people out there, again, the women listening in, the men listening, whoever it might be? You've watched also the culture of Powur. I think a lot of the solar industry is broken, because there's a lack of trust with companies cutting commissions and not holding up their promises and just hiding revenue in this broken red line model and hiding finance fees and rebates and all that thing. What would you say to the women out there listening? What would you say to the people out there listening just about how important culture is to you and the belief in your management team?
I come from corporate America, and we just didn't have anything like this. Of course, yes, we had training, but it came from just people trying to tear each other apart because everybody's trying to get above each other. Versus here, it's all about helping each other. And Powur Corporate is by far the best corporate I've ever worked for. If we bring a problem with a solution, it gets done, and everything is about our personal development, business development, and just becoming more of a family. Like 2 years ago, my brother died, and the first person I called was you, because you were up at 3 a.m. probably. But I mean, where else when you go through like just a family time, and the first person you're thinking of calling, is the president of the field, and that's what this is. And that's why when I met Jonathan Budd in 2016 and heard his vision so clearly described, I just knew that this was a company that I was going to be all in with, and that we were truly going to change the world. And it's just been amazing.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having that kind of faith in me. So Jonathan, post SolarCon, so we obviously had this great presence here, and it's an amazing booth, and sponsoring the VIP lounge, and multiple presenters and multiple speakers, right? So you represent the top of the food chain. I mean, you're leaning into a multiple 7-figure income, which would make you one of the highest paid solar professionals in the world, and one of the most respected. So you've got solar pros from SolarCon that are listening. They're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to understand how we got here, where we're going, and I don't think anybody carries more credibility in the industry than you do. What would you say to these men and women out there? They're still holding on to this old dynamic and this old red line, their old thinking about what works and what doesn't work. They're looking for people like you to lead them into the next world of solar renewable energy. What do you say to them?
Well, thank you, Bobby, and I appreciate the kind words. The solar professional is seeing a lot of changes in the industry with loan rates and equipment issues and companies going under, maybe not having leads. They're seeing a lot of changes going on, and they really should take a hard look at our platform, see the different income streams and the earning abilities, and attend our in-person events. We have some of the best in-person training events around the country multiple times per year. We have 2 conventions every single year. And so when you look at a company that has the culture, like Melissa said, the public benefit corporation, the philanthropy, building homes in Mexico, you combine that with all the training built out already for you, it's really the best marriage of all the things combined in the solar industry from day one. We offer the same cost of goods transparently. You get paid every day here. And I think that's the future. And we're seeing it play out. Powur was ahead of the curve, offering all the solutions and all the pay from day one, and I think that's why we're so successful.
We want to thank both of you. We wouldn't be here at SolarCon. We wouldn't be now viewed as an industry leader and taking the industry to new heights and just guiding a world into a more renewable future for our children and for theirs. And we couldn't do it without the two of you. And we hope that everybody out there makes a decision and leads the lifestyle that two of you lead. I think people would love to taste a little bit of that and be a part of that. So back to you, Charles, and back to the stage, gentlemen.
Thank you, Bobby. That was awesome. It was great being with you last week and meeting so many incredible professionals as you had the opportunity to do today. Let's talk a little bit more about Powur and what we have in the form of training, a truly interactive, incredible certification course. I've been in the industry for 12 years, helped write a lot of this. We brought in a best-selling author of a book called Selling Solar. We collaborated for a year and created a certification course that I think is setting the standard for the industry. In addition to that, we have this knowledge base. You can go in and type in a keyword and you'll see everything that you need to know about any particular topic. We have an incredible studio. As you can see here, we do our interactive sessions. Once a month, we have a master immersive session on a major topic, and there's multiple live events that are taking place every single day around the United States of America and abroad. So here's the opportunity for you, your opportunity to leverage a platform. We'll provide you all the marketing assets and materials that you need, provide you with a virtual proposal tool that you can use in person or remotely, an online back office so you can see everything, every stage of the way for your homeowners. We'll show you some of those things in a moment. A homeowner educational presentation that's actually now built into our incredible new tool, which I'm going to show you in a moment. A knowledge base where you can go and key in a couple of words that maybe you're looking for what the requirements are in one state. You can type in those keywords and get all that information back that you need. And then one of the things that just blows my mind is the fact that we have affordable healthcare options. I've been an independent contractor for the better part of 30 years, and no company's ever offered me the benefits of having healthcare except for Powur. And I went from paying almost $1,200 a month for healthcare to just a little over $400 a month, went from an HMO to a PPO. That is just another reason to be in the Powur platform and leverage all the incredible things that they provide us as independent sellers. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a walkthrough of our back office and some of the tools that you're going to have access to. So let's walk through here. These are just examples of some of the graphics that you can post. You can put those online. You can also share links from your back office. Some of those have videos, some of those don't. You educate the homeowners, and when they opt in, those leads come directly to you. You can see some of these great assets that you have access. You don't have to become the marketing expert. Let the Powur do all that work for you. In addition, all of the different materials, you have flyers, brochures, you can edit these, save them, print them, email them, post them, do whatever it is that you want without having to pay the design costs that go into it. And then once you have a particular brochure that you want to go and mail, look at this. You can actually select a radius and you can send those directly to those homeowners around your install. Maybe there's an event that's taking place. You can leverage that tool. Now, this is an example of what you will show a homeowner, but we unveiled at SolarCon our new tool. It's called Powur Vision. It's a game changer for the industry. Shows all of these features that you're looking at here that you're familiar with as a solar pro, and then some. In fact, we've built into that the educational deck that you can choose which slides you want to use and show all of these very same benefits. Credit check, send documents, full transparency, control the margin, everything. And from there, all the tools you have in the background. I mentioned the training. This is just additional information you're finding just in the knowledge base and in our training. Everything that you need to know about roofing, whatever it is you feel you need to level up your game, you have access to those tools. You also get access to coaching from some of the top people in the company on different reasons, different objections that they've overcome. That knowledge base that we talked about, it has become the most powerful tool I've ever seen in the industry. And our warranty, 30-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. You'll talk about that more as you come aboard, and you can look in the different spotlight pages. You can find out information about particular counties, rates, I mean, you name it. Anything you need to learn about a new market before you go selling there, all of that knowledge is there for you in advance so you can study. Samples of our contract, training from our partners, not only lenders, but also manufacturers, our incredible site survey app where you can actually do the site survey directly while you're on the site or have the homeowner do it, or our new feature, which is called on-demand site survey, where you can actually become a contractor for Powur to do site surveys. Simple photos. There's that dashboard that shows you all the tools that you have in your platform. If you decide to build a team, you can monitor all the activity, all of your projects. You can interact directly from the notifications section. So you seamlessly communicate with your project managers, get information back from them. No calling, no phone calling, emailing, it's just directly to tickets. And then that ambassador program I talked about, that's just a sample dashboard of what your homeowners are going to see, what your ambassadors are going to see on their experience, on their journey in the Powur platform. So if that doesn't tell you you've got a lot available to you, I don't know what will. Incredible assets that are available through the Powur platform, all included in your platform costs. So when we talk about a platform, this is the big difference between a red line and a platform. I mentioned that Powur takes no margin on the equipment, on the installation itself. They pass through what the cost is for the panels, what the cost is for the inverters. You get your price, and then you sell it at whatever fair market value. Powur only keeps 15%. That's where their profit comes into. They give 85% of that back to the field, back to us, 85%, with transparency is the key word. Again, back in that red line model, they have that fixed amount. You sell over that, you keep it. If you have to go below that amount, you don't make any money, you lose. With Powur, everyone shares in the upside and the downside when you write a solar contract for any homeowner. So that's just one form of income. And that's usually when somebody says to me, what's your red line? Well, let's talk about 5 income streams instead of just one. A red line just tells you how much you're going to make on the project. And I believe, based upon our model, you'll make the most of any solar professional in the industry if you learn how to leverage the platform. Then, in addition to that, we have a partnered sales program. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of new people coming into the platform every single month, looking for help, looking for coaching. You have the ability to work with them, to coach them. Some of them are lead generation companies. They just want you to close their deal. And you do a 50-50 commission split. So that's a second stream of income. The third stream of income is if you decide to refer people to the platform, and I don't know why you wouldn't, then you get the benefit of earning on their projects as well. Not from their revenue, but from Powur's revenue. Remember, Powur gives 70% to the seller. They keep 30%, but they only keep 15% because they give the rest of that to us in the field to build organizations. Rather than hiring layers and layers of management, they give it to the field where really it belongs. And then a game changer for the industry. How many of you have received a rebate for loans that you've processed through the different lenders? Powur's the first that I've ever seen who, with transparency, does share in those rebates. Most of the big companies out there receive them, but they don't share them with you. And then lastly, I think this is the big picture, the exponential potential of stock options, of being an owner in the Powur platform. That's all performance-based. You'll learn about that as you go and get your questions answered. We all start in the Powur platform is what's called a Tier 1 seller. And if you're a solar pro, you only need to work with a partner, a Tier 3 partner. That's the category we'll talk about in a moment. On one of your contracts, we'll submit a waiver if you're a solar pro with 1 or more years experience. But I mentioned there's hundreds and hundreds of people joining per month who don't have that experience, and they're required to get a minimum of 3 contracts with a Tier 3 sales partner. Once an individual has achieved everything that's required in Tier 1, then they advance to Tier 2 where they can close their own sales fully. There's no share on those deals. So if you look at the Tier 1, it's an average of $3,500 per person, the Tier 1 and the Tier 3. When you become a Tier 2, the entire commission is yours, it's $7,000. And if you want to become one of those Tier 3 sellers, then all you have to do is get 5 contracts on your own after you've completed the Tier 1 requirements, get 5 on your own, and then you can take a test to become a Tier 3 sales partner in the platform. To me, it's the best lead generation campaign in the industry by far because you're helping to coach people, you're giving back, and you're splitting in the benefit of the actual rewards that come from selling solar. So if you look at that, number one, you get that built-in lead generation program, tier 3 sales partner, you get the ambassador program, you get paid quickly in 2 milestones, and we'll talk more about those details by lender. And you have an even more control. If you happen to be already an existing company, or maybe you have a team of people who you've been selling with and you want them to have access to the same tools, you have the ability to do that with our enterprise program. And you can earn up to 80% based upon volume in our enterprise program. So the control that comes with that is you can build an organization. You can seat your own lead generators and pay them directly out of the revenue stream. You can seat administrative people who you want to provide you with support. Maybe they're going to request proposals, answer tickets. You can let the platform do everything by paying your team. You can even completely customize the revenue share plan with them. And the beauty of controlling that compensation is Powur is going to handle it for you. I know when I had my own company, I had to pay for staff that handled all of the 1099s and W-2s. Powur does that for you, and you can completely customize that plan and earn up to 80%, not just 70%, earn up to 80%. That's all volume-based, and you'll hear about that when you speak with the person who referred you here today. And then it gives you full control. The API suite that we now have, integration, so if you've got your own CRM, you can feed that data into the Powur platform. It's all completely advanced, and soon you're going to see complete CRM capabilities. So not just project management, but lead generation support, lead tracking, communications with your homeowners, et cetera. All right, so how we got here? So if you look at Powur, we started as a humble lead generation company back in 2014. And that was a slow, steady ride. We worked exclusively with one of the largest solar companies in the United States. But look at the progress that we made over the years. And how that happened was through evolution. We evolved into different models. We went from lead gen to where we became a sales org. And then we launched this cost of goods model. Truly incredible change to the industry, true transparency, as I mentioned. We had a crowdfund raise back that far surpassed anything that we need to do. We reinvested that money into operations. Another level of involvement, up to almost $200 million. And then last year, with virtual site survey that I talked about, the enterprise program, and what's called Powur Site, you'll hear more about that, well over $300 million in revenue and continuing to grow this year. So if you're looking for a company who's got all of the ratings from BBB, Yelp, Ecology, we're a certified B Corp, you'll hear more about that in a few minutes. And again, that Inc. 500 rating, 3 consecutive years in a row. All right, so you've heard a lot tonight. You've heard about the industry, how we apply that industry, the enormous need that exists, the products that you have, the most flexible and affordable solar solutions for homeowners. You heard about the income potential, the 5 types of income that you can earn with Powur. You've heard about how our company is growing rapidly, but also with a sustainable model. And you've heard about the technology, the software as a service that you can leverage to run your business within the Powur platform. What you haven't really heard about is our team, about our culture. And the only way that I can describe that is by doing a brief introduction to a video with Mr. Jonathan Budd, our founder. And then you're going to have an opportunity tonight to hear Jonathan live. So let's go ahead and roll that video from Mr. Jonathan Budd.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Budd. I'm the CEO and founder of Powur. And if you made it this far, you've probably heard incredible reasons to join our company already. But I want to take a minute to share with you where this company really came from. 12 years ago, 2010, I was making lots of money. I had a successful digital publishing company, but something was missing. And I really wanted the work that I actually do every day to be making a difference, to be helping to solve some of the challenges going on our planet. And I got a call one day from my friend Jim Bunch, and he said, "Hey man, I'm going on this trip with this organization, the Pachamama Alliance, and I think you should come. Can you come to the Amazon rainforest?" For some strange reason, I said yes. So I went down to the Amazon rainforest with the Pachamama Alliance, spending time with this culture that has no concept of trash, that has lived for thousands of years in that forest. And down there, in the middle of a ceremony with one of the elder shamans of this tribe, the vision for Powur came to me. What I knew in that moment was that I was meant to come back and start an organization, the first of its kind, that was going to figure out how to enable anyone to earn their livelihood and participate in the clean energy or solar revolution. And it took me almost 10 years to really figure out what it was, following the clues and the signs that has ultimately led to where we are today, which is this absolutely disruptive platform for the solar energy industry. Powur is truly here to make the biggest difference we possibly can, aiding our world in becoming sustainable, getting as much carbon out of the atmosphere as possible, and delivering the next generation of infrastructure that society is going to be built on. Now, on top of that, our purpose is to reward financially the people who make that happen more than they ever have been in their lives before. We have this fundamental belief that if you get paid really well to do good, then you're going to do more good. The vision for Powur is to build the largest clean energy platform on planet Earth. And I think the potential for Powur is to truly be a global distributed energy utility that is delivering essential services that we all need for survival at breakthrough costs. This is not just solar power. This is solar power plus storage so that we can become our own utility and we're truly grid independent. This is transportation, whether that's electric vehicles or other forms of transportation that are coming. This is, of course, our appliances and the electrification of the home. This is how we grow food, how we source water. All of these are going to be challenges in the future, and technologies are enabling a new type of way to meet these needs. So this is an incredibly exciting time. And the platform is just in its infancy. And we're now getting to the point where we're able to add so many different types of installers, whether it's HVAC contractors, roofers, solar installers, all of the infrastructure that we need to live in a sustainable world, save money, and lower our carbon footprint. This platform is going to be able to sell and fulfill. I truly think this represents a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and there is no other company, not one, that is close to where we are today in giving you the opportunity to participate. Powur is owned truly by the people. We have now done 2 record-breaking crowdfunding rounds in which we let every single person in our ecosystem become equity owners of the company. In addition, we offer stock options to every single person who joins the company if they hit certain performance criteria. And we want it that way because truly our purpose here is to shift as much wealth to the people who are building the clean energy economy as we possibly can. This is truly the time to leave your mark. This is the time to go big, to make your dreams come true, to build that career, that lifestyle, that best life that you've envisioned for yourself, making a difference, doing it with people you love, and creating the financial prosperity that you know is possible for you. So, it's been my honor to meet you and share with you a little about the vision, origin, and purpose of Powur. Now it's your turn to join this amazing company, and let's go out there and accelerate the adoption of sustainable energy together.
All right, so it's pretty easy to see why we at Powur love Jonathan Budd. And those of you who met him at SolarCon, I'm sure you got a real idea of just the amazing mind this man has and how he's taken and shifting, helping us shift this industry in one of the most positive directions. We face many tailwinds and headwinds as a company. I've never felt so comfortable in my life with a CEO, because some of us have had challenges there, to lead us through the good, the bad, the indifferent than this gentleman, Mr. Jonathan Budd, our CEO. Jonathan?
Thank you so much, Carl. I love you, man.
I love you too.
It's been a journey.
Yes, it
Gosh,
has.
what is it, 7 years now?
8 years
7,
for me.
8 years
8
and
years for
counting.
me. Yes, sir.
You know, those are the kinds of relationships that you cherish in life. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
sir.
Charles.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, my friend. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? It is a pleasure to be with you. And, you know, every time I watch that video about that sort of voyage to the Amazon, it really brings back the heart of what this company is truly about and the mission. And it's hard to describe how alive it still is for me personally. And I think why you do something is just as important as what you're doing. You know, there's so many people out there who I think love, you know, that they get to claim, you know, hey, I'm part of the solar industry, I'm part of clean tech, I'm doing this, and it feels good to them. But I think we all know a lot of companies in this industry are really in it for the money. And a lot of times it is transactional. And sometimes people are just selling the vision and mission. And that is just, in my opinion, not the way that you innovate. That all of the real innovation first comes from that deep desire and mindset and purpose and passion within to enact real change, to really say, how do we change something? So this model, this whole thing that we have a chance to be a part of and where we're going next and why I think Powur is going to continue to innovate is because it's born from a genuine desire of how do we solve some of the biggest problems on planet Earth. I know that millions of people are looking for a way to earn a livelihood and create a business and earn income and be free in a way that aligns with who they are and their purpose in the world and has real impact. We're tired of being, just a cog in the machine, and we're tired of just going through the motions of life, and we're tired of the stuff that we do not really mattering or meaning all that much to us and a lot of the jobs that exist out there. And finally, we have a much better way. But you have to take the product that is solar and you have to actually really pair it with an innovative, heartfelt, truly purpose-driven organization for all of that to align. Otherwise, something's missing. So thank you for being here tonight, because if that's something you're interested in, you found us. You found your people. You found your tribe. The reason why this company truly is growing the way it is and doing the things that it's doing is because of the like-mindedness of the network and that desire for everyone to go out there and solve one of the biggest problems in the world. We are going to build the largest platform selling and fulfilling clean energy product in the history of the world. We're going to do that because you're going to join and you're going to help. So let's go, baby. Let's go. Now, in the limited time that I have with all of you tonight, I really just want to set a vision for where we're going next. I think so many people in this industry and in this space and in life, we think in terms of like weeks and months, and maybe some of the biggest thinkers think like next year, right? It's always about, I tried something and it didn't work for me today. What? Really? Are you kidding me? How many people freaking quit based on a vision of like a few weeks or a month? Oh, things didn't work out for me this week or this month, or it's been a whole quarter and I give up? Oh, we're losing so much with that kind of mindset. So part of my goal is to always assist and aid and enable people in developing truly long-term visionary thinking. Now, at SolarCon this weekend, I shared some slides showing the research that we've done as an organization into the retrofit market alone, just for solar energy. And what we discovered when we dug in and did, analysis on all the available homes, trends, utility rates, inflation, growth acceleration, everything, what we found was that not a single market reaches saturation until 2035, and most markets won't reach saturation until around 2040. So we are talking about almost 2 decades of insane business that's going to be done just in the retrofit market alone. And that does not include going back to those customers, selling them expansion systems, which we know is already going to happen because people are using more energy than ever. I just doubled my system that I installed 4 years ago because my wife got an electric car and we started using more AC, and all these things are happening in our society. So we've got expansion systems we're going to be selling. We have decades of retrofit market growth, and that does not even account for new home additions and new home construction and builds. So some people think about a gold rush, right? And they think about like, oh, how much money can I make in the next year or two, and how much impact can I have? I want you to think about a 10-year vision for what is possible in your life with this company. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have not even seen the beginning of this. This is all training ground. Truly consider that for a moment, that you are in training and that the real game has not even started. From 2026 to 2033, this industry will be growing 5 times faster than it is today. 5 times faster. Annual growth rates, 5 times faster. And it's already growing pretty darn fast. Why is that? Because of the consistent increase of utility prices, which are only going in one way and are only going to make our product more competitive forever, because of the impact of the regulations and the full, as the IRA gets fully baked and you have domestic content provisions, low income provisions, and all these other things that can shift in, that tax credit actually goes from 30% to much higher. And we're going to figure out how to get those benefits. And so you factor in the regulations, you factor in utility increases, and you factor in constant grid and climatic instability, which is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Now factor in the fact that we're innovating with NEM 3. Storage prices are already coming down, and the writing is on the freaking wall. We are going to replace the monopoly utilities, and we are going to build a sustainable energy future for mankind. We're going to build a more resilient energy future for mankind. We are going to create the future. It's happening now. And the crazy part is the biggest growth years are 26 to 33. So I want you to consider that for the next 2 years, you're just in training. You're just preparing yourself. If you have a real vision for the future, I don't even know how successful some of you could be by 2033. It's mind-boggling to think where this platform could be. And I want to end on that note, because there's a lot of companies out there, there's a lot of companies that are going to be coming and trying to take a piece of this enormous space. But I will tell you why we are going to win and why Powur is going to be the largest clean energy platform selling and fulfilling products on planet Earth. And frankly, yes, it's what I shared at the beginning of this. I think so much of that innovation is born from really why you do what you do and the intent behind everything. But if you look at, sort of just tactically what this organization is focused on, we are building the ultimate distributed model. The ultimate distributed model. And I am so bullish and so betting that the future is distributed, not centralized. All right, just think about this for a minute. What have all the trends on our planet been over the last, decade and a half? From centralized media to social media, content creators in the billions, all of us creating the content that everyone shares. From centralized, everything, whether it was taxi industry or hospitality industry, to platforms that basically decentralized that and gave anyone the chance to, drive someone around and ride share, or anyone the chance to, rent a room in their house or whatever the heck it is. And then you've got this massive, centralized power grid, right? And we know that centralized power grids are inflexible. They are not resilient. They are, monopolies. And we, solar, right, is distributed energy. It's generating energy locally, everyone generating it. It's not centralized. And so just think about all this for a second, right? All the trends are distributed, but nobody's actually built a distributed platform for solar and clean energy products. it's all still centralized? Think about our competitors. Think about the vertically integrated model. Centralized, centralized, centralized. I'm going to give you one example for why distributed is going to win and why Powur is going to be the #1 player in that space. You know, over the last month, we had this historic surge in California, the NEM2 surge. Insane. The most sales in the history of America really happened in the month of March. For any state, it was absolutely mind-boggling. During that surge, because of this insane urgency for homeowners to get in before the rules change around net metering, we did almost 2,000 more sales than we thought we were going to do. Now, in a vertically integrated model, okay, let's just take one example, site surveys. You've got a set number of trucks, a set number of people. You throw 2,000 more jobs on that. You can only do, 3 jobs a day. What happens? Companies are booked out a month and a half on site surveys. Because we built a distributed site survey model called our on-demand site surveyor program. It's basically the Uber for site survey labor. We have over 400 active on-demand site surveyors on this platform. When a job comes in, we immediately send that out. It pings everybody in the app and it says who's available to take this, and whoever gobbles it up first gets the job. It shows up in their queue. They know exactly what they need to do. They go, they take all the photos. Those are automatically uploaded to our platform. We've got all the assets we need to then move into design. Guess what happened with those 2,000 projects? Nothing. It was business as freaking usual. Because the flex power of a distributed network, those 400 on-demand site surveyors assumed that volume really like it was nothing. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, this stuff really works. Like, distributed really works. Now, I'm not going to say that we figured out everything. But what I am going to say is that we are further along in figuring out the distributed model than anyone else on planet Earth. And over the next 18 months, as we invest even more in our installer success platform and in our labor enablement products and platforms, we're going to continue to see the distributed model absolutely shine. And I've just got all my money betting that the future of distributed energy is probably going to be led by a distributed company. That's Powur. From our network to our sales force to our freaking internal teammates who are all virtual, and there's no centralized infrastructure, which is one of the reasons why we have such an advantage financially. Our company does not have the enormous cash drain every single 2 weeks of all the physical infrastructure. And that's made us so much more financially healthy than a lot of our competitors who really are like a one boomer bust cycle away from going out of business. And that's what we see over and over and over and over again in the solar industry is companies struggle, get in a cash crunch, and can't make that payroll because managing cash flow in this industry is very difficult. The distributed model has proven to be a winner. We don't pay money until we make money because it's all distributed, and that's allowed Powur's cash balance to grow to over $45 million without needing to raise all this money or anything. It's just a healthier, better model. So there's so many reasons why I'm bullish, but I hope in just a handful of minutes tonight, you've been able to see why Powur is a difference maker, why if you come and be part of this vision and mission with us and have a 10-year mindset, a true vision for what you can create over the next 10 years, that literally there is limitless possibilities for you, absolutely limitless possibilities on this platform right now, today. We have not even seen the start of where this industry and where this company and where the leaders and the human beings that are part of this company are going over the next 10 years. What we all create together will blow the world's mind. I know that for a fact. I see it. It's crystal clear. It's coming. It's here. We're leading that future. And this is a phenomenal time for you to come join us and plant your flag. And let's go out there and truly do something disruptive and innovative and that makes a dent, really makes a dent on sustainable energy adoption for this whole planet. And I'll close with just saying, consider that your life, all of us together, by working on this company and by achieving the vision of this company and the mission of this company, we will materially move the adoption of sustainable energy on this planet in a way that it wouldn't have been the same without us. And that's my goal. And I invite you to really share that goal. And if you make that your guiding light, I promise you can soar to success maybe higher than you can even imagine. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. I love you. I'll see you guys on the battlefield. I'm going to bring Mr. Thompson back up to take us home. Good night, everybody.
Woo. Wow, Jonathan. Wow. Ow! Amazing. Got me fired up again. Goodness gracious. Well, if that doesn't show you why we love Mr. Bud, I don't know what can. So amazing. Let me go ahead and wrap up. We'll bring up a couple more slides for you here today. I couldn't have said it any better. This man has laid everything out that's on this particular slide. So let's talk about what we don't always talk about, and that's the good that we do. We use our scale for good. We're a certified B Corporation, and we're a public benefit corporation. There's only about 2,000 companies around the world who make that kind of a commitment. You can even check out our impact report on our website, all the wonderful things that we do to give back. We talk about money, but money is a result of impact. And all the things that we do to share, even that, we're profitable and still doing all of the amazing things for the industry. You can check us out online, see all the great ratings from our homeowners. This is a tough industry. It's a construction project. It's hard to do that, but we've got excellent ratings on Yelp and BBB and all the different places you go, Google, etc. So I couldn't say all the things as well as the homeowners can. So now it's up to you. We came here today. You talk about the number of people that are still available. Jonathan just laid out a roadmap way beyond what we just talked about earlier, a 10-year plan versus just a 3 to 5 year plan. The question is, what part of that will be yours? I think this really should be an impactful moment to think about where do you want to play in the long term for this industry, well beyond just solar, distributed energy. So every position, we'll get 3 pathways. Every one of those starts with having access to the sales and fulfillment platform. We all get the same cost of goods, not like in a red line where there's tiered levels. We all get the same cost of goods, and we all have 5 ways to earn. We're given all the access to the leading equipment that is whatever is the best equipment pricing at that time. You can choose from that in real time, as well as all the best financing options that we have, all the tools that I shared earlier in the presentation, and now you can see the culture that is here to support your growth. The pathways are the individual seller. That's what 7,000 people have come on our platform today, where you get everything that is shared in the previous slide, as well as access to all the compensation model, the virtual proposal tools, the things that we talked about, all that training, and it starts with just a $99 onboarding fee and $85 per month for the software as a service. This is what this is, a software as a service. The second license is the Powur Pro, and this is for one who maybe has a support team already, has an administrative support or a lead generator, someone who does the tracking of their projects. That license is $175 a month, and then you have the ability to seat users for $25 per month. The enterprise license, which is really for organizations, for companies. You can be in real estate, you can be in mortgage, sales organizations, installation companies. Become part of our ecosystem. You have the ability to seat sellers in your network and build a company within the company. And you also have the ability to refer people outside of your organization as well. Well, your umbrella is your enterprise rather. And then you have the ability to refer people anywhere in the world to do what we do. You get the ability to design your own compensation plan rather than having to apply. You can use Powur's, but you have the ability to design your own. An enhanced equity program beyond what the individual sellers can. And that app is by application only, have to be considered, and that's a monthly technology of $350 plus any seats that you would have. So those are the pathways to join Powur. What I hope you'll find out tonight is the answers that you might have been seeking. Why would I consider Powur? Learn how to leverage this platform, become a Powur solar warrior, become part of this mission, this incredible mission that we're on as a community. So I want to thank each of you for being here this evening. I hope this was informative. Your time was well invested. Get back to the person who shared this video with you if you're watching it recorded, or get back, you're here live, get back to whoever referred you. Get your final questions answered. Jump on this train. It will be an amazing ride. I always say the best is ahead. Thank you for being here.